The engineers, they all had their own favorite way of documenting issues. Some would use Excel spreadsheets and they'd cut and paste little tiny pictures inside their Excel spreadsheet. The favorite way though seemed to be PowerPoint, which was really frustrating because those PowerPoint decks would get very large. My name is Tim Field. I'm the Senior CAD Manager at BISSELL Homecare in Grand Rapids, Michigan. These decks would go out to the different functional areas, whether it be industrial design or tooling or manufacturing or CAD or engineering, and when someone would complete a task, they would put another text box in that would say completed and drag that slide down to the bottom of the deck. Those decks got so huge they couldn't be opened, so they created an additional deck, and it was just hard to track who was working on what and when and if it was completed. Occasionally you'd get things that you'd think were solved, they would appear again, and it's like, well, we already did that, didn't we? The designer might pick that up and look at it and go, I don't even know what part that is. We couldn't find any real good solution for that. Things were getting missed, things were being done twice, and nobody really knew exactly what they should be working on. There was always the engineer really scrambling, trying to be more of a project manager than an engineer. Adam at CoLab, it was interesting talking with him because he didn't say, hey, come look at this neat software that'll solve all your problems. He said, what kind of issues are you having on your teams? And so I started to describe this, and he goes, I think we have a solution for that. And then he started showing me what CoLab could do, and I got real excited. We have several teams that are using CoLab, and by the end of this year, it's going to be required that all teams will do all part design review in CoLab.
Bringing on CoLab with your team, how did you kind of rally engineering around this change?
Just letting them use it, really.
Yeah,
it was, and once they got into it and understood what it could do and how it worked, I don't think we had to convince them. Just recently, one of the engineers, he had a question. It was about adding an image. I want to add an image to CoLab. He says, oh, it's easy. Just here it is. You can pick this and add your image. And at the time, it didn't occur to me. I'm thinking, oh, that's fine, you can add an image. But then afterwards, I called him up and said, so why'd you want to add an image? Well, I want to do a markup and point to something. I said, well, that's the old way of thinking. Just add the CAD, share the CAD to CoLab, and then you can drop a pin, and you can put a comment, and you can make an assignment, and showed him how to do that. And he's like, oh, okay, well, yeah, that makes sense. All you're doing is you're looking at a viewable of this, and you can do anything you want to it. It's not going to hurt anything. And it's so much nicer to look at something in 3D than a static 2D image. That when the CAD updates on your PowerPoint, you have no idea. Yeah. And with CoLab, it tracks that and will update, and you'll be able to always make sure you're looking at the latest data.